Thanks so much for joining me today. I want to talk to you about how long a typical trial takes in our Canadian criminal justice system. I'm going to use different examples. I'm going to talk about some more minor charges, and then we'll get into a few serious charges such as sexual assault. So let's take a minor domestic assault, criminal harassment, mischief type trial. Now, typically, in my experience, most of those cases take, on average, in court time, in terms of having the trial where everyone testifies and the client might testify and right to the end of the evidence, and the Crown Attorney and defense lawyer make their final submissions. Typically, you're looking at a 1 to 2 day trial, 1 to 2 days, often 1 day, sometimes 2. It's rare in those type of cases to be extended to 3 and 4 days. I've seen it happen when there's more witnesses, but that's the typical length of time. Now, let's take an impaired driving trial, or DUI trial as the colloquial term. By the way, that's an American term, but we all seem to use that in Canada for whatever reason, so I like to call it DUI, and it's probably not the right term to do, but we'll call it that. So call it impaired driving, actually. How long do those cases take? Well, that's a really loaded question, but I can tell you the average impaired driving trial would probably take 1 day. There are many situations, though, and when I say average, there's many situations where a trial, DUI trial, impaired driving trial, will extend into a full 2 days. Have I seen it extend longer? Yes, there can be very complex DUI trials involving extensive legal issues and charter applications and all sorts of issues, which can take 5. I've even seen it take 7 days. But the average one, we'll say to 1.5 days, sometimes 2. And I'd say our firm probably finishes 60%, I'd say, of our impaired driving trials in 1 day. Most of the rest in 2 days, and sometimes extends into 3 days. Now let's take a sexual assault matter. Now this is a more complicated charge involving lots of cross-examination, lots of evidence, lots of legal issues. Those cases usually take longer, especially if there's pre-trial applications. Those are, I'll call it part of the trial, but these applications take place before the trial. Defense counsel and the Crown are arguing what evidence should go in. They're presenting written arguments. Those pretrial applications can take 1 to 3 days in and of themselves. Once the trial starts, well, judge alone versus jury. Let's talk judge alone. Often we can finish in 2 days. I'd say typically the average is 3 for us on a judge alone trial. I've seen trials take as long as 5 or 6 on occasion. So that's kind of a rule of thumb. So call it 2 to 3 days on average for a judge alone trial. Jury trials are more complex in the sense that it takes a lot more time. There's a lot of explaining to be done to the jury by the judge, and things just move along a lot slower. I would say the jury trials I've done over the years, sexual assault, God, it's been rare that I finish in 4 days. I mean, I bet you the average that I've done over the years is about 5 days. I've had some cases last 7 or 8 if there's lots of witnesses. But so those, kind of a rough rule of thumb. You've got the idea. Most trials are going to finish, if you take the range of minor charges up to serious sexual assault, 1 to maximum 8 days. Of course, when you're into other charges in the criminal code, like murder cases can go on forever. I mean, as you know, sometimes they take 2-3 months. But even then, those cases usually don't take as long. So it really boils down to the number of witnesses and complexity of a particular charge or how long it takes. I'll give you one more example. I've done a lot of bar fight situations over the years where there's aggravated assault, where someone's very seriously injured, like a brain injury. And sometimes, like you're calling 20 witnesses, I've been involved in cases there that have taken 3 to 4 weeks, but that's unusual. So there you have it. I'm just trying to give you an idea, if you're charged with a particular offense, how long you can expect your trial might take. But the real answer boils down to what's in the evidence, what's in the disclosure in your particular case, how many witnesses are, and how complex the legal issues are. And if I saw your case, if I reviewed your disclosure, I'd be able to narrow it down to really within a day or 2 how long your case would take. Thank you for watching our video. We are absolutely committed to bringing you the best possible criminal and DUI educational videos. If you found this video helpful, please like it and subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you've been charged with a criminal offense in Ontario and require our services, please click on the link in the description below.